Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are at the gun range Lithuania and we'll be reviewing a gun. Not a simple gun, not a Glock, but a Walther p38. Very historic gun. All firearms on this table were checked before the video, so every firearm is safe. So this is European perspective of the gun review, as Americans think that we can't own guns majority of the time, but they're wrong. A lot of countries in Europe can have guns for civilians, of course, and some of the eastern countries even you can't wield it for personal protection. So the Walther 38. The history of it, why Germans started making these. So you have to go to another pistol, Luger p38. Excuse me if I'm wrong about the words, and English is my third language to learn. So p08 was an extremely awesome gun, a technological marvel, but for Third Reich, just make them, they need to be made by hand almost. The technologies were not there, and some of even the magazines, switching the magazines sometimes could not be interchanged between the weapons. Swapping parts because of the handcraft was difficult, and the gun would simply not function as it need to be. So Germans before the World War II started making some changes. Also they had competition to make against the Soviets, because Soviets were also changing weapons, as most of the military was with revolver Nagant revolver. So they were changing to exactly this, the beta version of TT33, the Tokarev pistol. This is TT30, like a beta version of TT33. There are some mild changes, but overall it's still the same gun. This is actually made in 1935, and this was in Spain Civil War, so it wasn't with commie hands. The 38, Walther 38, this exact model was made by Walther, but the letter is AC. They're made over 1 million of these firearms, so they're kind of plentiful. So AC meant for Walther. There was also beef made by Mauser and Sprietwerk, or whatever that word is. This production in 1945. After the war, a lot of were taken by Soviets, a lot of by war trophies of other militaries, and even in France, some of the service weapons. The Russians marked their weapons with an X, that those were trophy weapons. We can have this at the range. So 43 model wasn't the best of the Walther 38 family, because now we have Walther p38 made in 40s. What's the difference? Yet the finish and everything about the quality of the firearm was different. They look the same, they might shoot the same, but the quality of Stalingrad war in the 42s, Germans need up the more numbers of the firearms. Same with any other German gun. After the Stalingrad, they need to focus on the quantity of, not the quality. Who needs a firearm that can survive 50,000 rounds if the personnel or infantry won't live that far? So it's very similar with the more modern pistols, actually, weapon of war. But Germans didn't like it that much. A lot of military officers preferred the p08, p08, or walther PP for the comfort of it, and I would understand, because the mag release is also it's kind of quality made. Even the 43 model, it's soft and it works. There's a fitful lanyard, same as with TT pistol. See, and we have a safety that's very similar that I took a Beretta from, right? So it also works as a decocker. Same here. Now, military guys, or usually in America, used to build a weapon with the chamber, with the gun in the chamber. So that safety is correct if you got one hot one inside. So you have one in, and you move it down from the holster, release it, and you can have double action pull. Double action pull is very heavy for me, at least. So the demerons and the extractor is on the left side. That's kinda rare right now, as most of the guns we have here, extractors, are on the right side. So these are dummy rounds, not real, made for blinking. So safety, not very comfortable position for if you compare to modern guns, and reloading it from the top, so you have to have a good fit. And what you can do accidentally, if you load it, you can put it to safe and your trigger won't work. That I don't like also on the Beretta. Other than that, Beretta is awesome gun. So what's the difference also, or on these models? The wood is a backlight, but I don't know if my GoPro 10 can actually see that much of a difference from this, but in view you could definitely see the quality of paint, the feel of the trigger. This is the gun is from storage, so it has some lubricants for a long-term storage, so it might be a little rougher than it is. And this is our work gun, so this is a public, and this actually shoots. The resource and the metals were also different. So it's steel frame. When after World War II, there was a p38, P1 and P4 in South Africa, if I remember correct. So those were in aluminum frames, and some minor changes in the Walther p38. So it was still in service for the Bundeswehr, not Wehrmacht anymore, till 80s. Till 80s, when it was replaced by Glock. So I think Soviets were late with changing their Makarov to another pistols. Our guys are not that far away changing to pistols. Same as Americans with 1911, 2 world wars, Vietnam. If it was a good pistol, it would be win Vietnam, but it was not. Also, a lot of 1911 haters will eat me alive, perhaps, but then it was Beretta. So also very long term of service for 1911, extremely long in Austria, and for Germany, excuse me, it was not the Glock, it was Heckler PA, the USP. In the 90s, if I remember, 94, might be wrong about the years. Well, Soviets went from TT. Soviets went from TT to Makarov in 51. Then the Makarov was a little bit updated in 91 with the double stack magazines, and there was then Grach, the Yerigin Pia or Yerigin pistol, and there was Gesh A18 and other like Ukraine models of those pistols. So also a variety of pistols that were at service. So one interesting thing about the 38 is it has a loaded chamber indicator. I might be wrong, but at these years I don't see a lot of guns having these. See, there is a little bit. So even at night operations, if World War II had such, perhaps, you can see that your weapon is loaded. Even with the cocker, it still allows the user to have a good feel about this. What about the grip? Personally, I like it a lot more than the P08. It's like a Glock grip, but I don't like this empty space that you can have on this very big incline. I don't know how to say it, but it's too much of the angle for me. But the trigger on P08 is magic. Incredibly soft, very good shooter, even at this age. As you can see, this pistol seen some action, and age really shows. The P43, P38, the AC43, excuse me, this is because this is made in the 40s. So I was looking at the logo. Haven't seen war. These were storage weapons, and grip of it, that you grip like a can, like beer can, it's more preferable for me. But that you don't have like forward serrations or locking it to chamber it, it can be difficult. So I'm not a fan of this. I'm not actually a fan of P08. So even I'm not a big fan of Glocks. The modern guns have it, the variety and the safety that you can load it in any way possible. So does it can still shoot well and be a good collectible? Of course, the years 43 and up, even the 42 and the end, can be cheaper to buy and still be a good collectible. And if you can snatch the 40 made by Walther or the Mauser, there's even a better collectible to have. So we will load 8 rounds, and I have a target at about 10-11 meters. I don't know how much is that in freedom numbers, but we'll see. I will shoot with one left hand. That's like in those times. The single stack magazines are actually fine to load. I don't feel anything different from other pistols at those times, and it may be more comfortable than the Russian ones. Also, the survivability of these guns and the mileage can be extreme, and some they're very reliable and still in service in some African countries. Okay. Ear protection, of course. So what I didn't like about sight systems, that you have a lot of like wiggle at the end, so it will still be your sights in the middle, but variety to left or right, and it's a bit bigger. Also they're black, but at those times every sight was same color. Like we got a new age and got some other sights to see. So at night ASO is better than p38 because those are very small, like on AKs for example, or on Mosin guns. So at night you would be aiming at that direction. And about the safety, that you can have one in the chamber, is in Lithuania or in many countries in Europe, if you can have a weapon for self-defense and carry it, it should be with an empty chamber. So all those safeties are close to no use, because for self-defense we always have to rack the slide. And racking the slide in these times with p38, with this huge safety going in the way, to show it, it's painful to work on. And racking in the front, I've got small hands, very small hands. I'm in freedom numbers, but 5'7", right? And for me, I have a lot of places where to put, but it's not comfortable. You have to find a way, like a hook on the safety, just to pull it. It's very smooth, so we can pull it from the beneath, but from the perspective of speed, you're not gaining anything. So let's try. Empty. Let's see where it's gone. So for a left hand at 11 meters with my shaky hands, it's a fine result. Can be decently accurate. Those my little flyers. But after gym, I think it's a good result for an old pistol with more than 15,000 rounds through it, at least that we know through our shooting range. And how many before, we're not sure, and the barrel is rusty. But it still blinks the plates at 50 meters. So, excuse the lights. I think this gun still has its place, especially the 40 model. As you can see, even the difference in bakelite and the metals are different. Not sure if in GoPro can see, but the triggers, see, almost put it to safety. With the one hand, so the trigger. Let's put the GoPro down and try the same. Empty. Feels a little bit rougher, but the quality feels different. It's just built different. Guys, this is amazing machine of a gun. So if it was interesting for you, like the video. I think it will help me sometime. And in the comments I have a lot more weapons to review with a little bit of history, and there's plenty more in our shooting range to review and shoot, and we can make more of these videos for you. And I'll also be making a video about Lithuanian gun laws, and that there's also a benefits of these, because it's not that bad as you guys think, and I will explain it why. So thanks for watching, and see you later.